This crazy Canadian-Ukrainian applause in the House of Commons story just continues to go on and on and on. And I understand I'm about a day late on some of the news, but okay, I need to have time in order to, get all of this stuff together. So yesterday, the speaker, who apparently in a rogue move of his own, he was the only person to know about this guy. He brought him because he lived in his riding, and you know what? He just wanted to go ahead and bring him there because, Zelensky was going to be down there and it'd be a perfect time. It would be the perfect melding between Ukrainian heritage and Canada's propensity for compassion when it comes to harboring some of the greatest military cowards of all time. So yes, of course, bring quite possibly the last living Nazi to the House of Commons and go ahead and give him a rounding standing ovation, not once, but twice. And of course, Justin Trudeau, when he was asked about, do you have comment about what all that stuff was about? And what was the only thing that he had to say about that? Well, we need to be concerned about Russian propaganda and Russian disinformation. This dude's a total fucking idiot. But of course, man, instead of him taking responsibility like a leader truly should, ultimately the buck stops with him. It's his party, he bears responsibility. But no, he'll just let somebody else fall on the sword so we can just go ahead and be done with this situation. But for the fourth day in a row, it seems like all of social media is alight with literal Nazi, SS, Nazi in Canada. It just continues to go and go and go. Don't know if this will be the one that ultimately ends up claiming Trudeau's political career. Chances are probably not, because the way that the ADL and hell, even those NPCs that are out there are just going ahead and saying, well, it's all right that he's a Nazi. He's not the bad type of Nazi, which is just mental gymnastics. They're going for the platinum medal at this point in time. They're trying to speed run absurdity with this situation. But no. Speaker Anthony Rota resigns following the Nazi veteran debacle, right? It was his action and his action alone, guys. Don't worry. It's not like you would have picture after picture, post after post of the Nazi behind the scenes in Parliament and everybody trying to get pictures with him. No, of course not. That definitely wouldn't be the case. Just once again showing that it was simply Anthony Rota acting alone by himself as a rogue actor. Didn't have any help or complicity by the party at all. Nope. Couldn't possibly be the case. We'll find out here in a couple of minutes. On Tuesday, Speaker Anthony Rota resigned from his position as in the House of Commons, expressing his profound regret for honoring a World War II veteran who fought. Well, okay, man. Because they don't want to get into the specifics of this. At the end of the day, he did end up fighting against communists, so sort of based. But he was also a Nazi, so yeah, the only people that I'm rooting for in that conflict, well, it's not really people, it's the things I'm rooting for, and those are the specific bullets flying through the air. If they just could have both won, it could have been one of those comic, both parties shoot at each other and then they both fall down. Couldn't we have that? It's basically just kind of a socialist civil war, so couldn't you just let them, figure that stuff out instead of, embarrassing a country? I didn't vote for any of those stupid assholes. I was going to say something different, but to be frank, I don't think it could be any more absurd than a literal Nazi in the House of Anyways, when news of 98-year-old, again, this guy's 98 years old, Yaroslav Hunka's past emerged, Rota accepted full responsibility, which is hilarious because his boss, whenever I've been in the chain of command, above or below the person ultimately making the decision, as a leader, you would normally take some sort of responsibility on that as well, not properly vetting, which some sources are also saying that you guys did. This is the Liberal Party, by the way. Properly vet this guy and just go, yeah, he's a Ukrainian veteran. Which side was he fighting on? He's Ukraine. We have Ukrainian military. That's fine. Okay, just bring him on down. You would think that there would be other people also accepting their role in the situation, but no, these aren't serious people. They're politicians. In the days since, he has faced numerous calls from all parties to step down. It is with a heavy heart that I rise to inform members of my resignation as Speaker of the House of Commons, Rota began. I reiterate my profound regret for my error in recognizing an individual in the House during the joint address of Parliament of President Zelensky, he continued, noting that the public recognition has caused pain to individuals and communities, including, yes, of course, you just go ahead and bend the knee to dem boys who just apparently don't care about this situation. I haven't heard a goddamn peep out of any of them in Canada and around the world, in addition to survivors of Nazi atrocities in Poland, among other nations. Which, funny thing about Poland right now, which, man, like, this might be a little bit of a borked take on this one. We'll just get the facts out of the way first. Poland is now seeking extradition of Yaroslav Hunka, the 98-year-old Nazi who fought Russia and received a standing ovation not once but twice. We can't get away from that unflattering fact from Canadian Parliament, including Justin Trudeau and Vladimir Zelensky, to stand trial in Poland for war crimes. Now, oh my God, Christ almighty, he's, like it says right there, he's 98 years old. Bro, like, what are you gonna do? Just end up killing him with the stress that's just gonna cause him? It's like, okay, like I said, you want to I think I said this yesterday in the video, but what kind of a threat to society does he pose right now? Okay, if you really wanted to hunt down everybody that was in that 14th battalion, you would have in the previous several decades. Like, yeah, obviously this wasn't top priority. It wasn't until he was granted a large spotlight at 98 fucking years old. I think you guys probably have better things to do, like figuring out what you want to do with that Ukrainian fired rocket that ended up landing in Poland that almost sparked World War III. Wouldn't you think that that would be a little bit more of a pressing issue instead of, I don't know, trying to lock up a 98-year-old Nazi for what, a couple of months before he fucking dies? Like, what are you doing? Okay, not saying that what he theoretically did was wrong. Don't even know his past. All we know is the division he was a part of. What do you want to do? Just have a withered old man just roll up to the defense table in order to say, well, I'm really sorry for what I did and can't quite remember 80 fucking years ago? Is that really at the top of your list? Okay, again, if he was a younger man, you can probably prosecute him for some war crimes, but at 98 years old, is he really that big of a threat to society? Okay, did dem boys really need their pound of flesh that bad? Comes as Canadian Speaker of the House Anthony Rota resigned from the House of Commons after declaring Hunka a Ukrainian hero, a Canadian hero. Yeah, all checks out so far. Hunka served in the 1st Ukrainian Division, which was previously known as the 14th Waffen-Grenadier Division of the Nazi Party's I don't fucking speak German, SS. There you go. Military branch. Absolute humiliation for Canada. Now, fuck you. I ain't taking responsibility for that horse shit. Humiliation for Canadian politicians, which are already humiliating enough. I don't know, everything should be tagged with Justin Trudeau because the buck stops with him. It was his party who invited a fucking Nazi into the place, okay, from one of the ridings that his party took, because Anthony Rota, which isn't being highlighted here, is a member of the Liberal Party of Canada. Okay, the Liberal Party endorses Nazis. Why isn't that trending as well? They're the people. They're the people. Remember those freedom protests in 2022, the trucker protests that were in Ottawa, okay? What were they being labeled as? Nazis. Oh, right. They're a fringe minority with unacceptable opinions, I believe was the official quote from Justin Trudeau. But there you have people in the House of Commons. Remember, just celebrating a decorated war hero from yesteryear, and it just really doesn't much matter what side he fights for because we celebrate all war heroes in the House of Commons, right? No, just throw it back on them. Fuck them. But yeah, that's the Polish minister that wants to have him extradited, and obviously I don't read Polish. I can't even pronounce that fucker's name except for Sarnak. I know that's his last name, but I ain't even going to begin to know how to pronounce the first name. I worked with Polish folks before. Great people. I can't say better things about them, but I think you guys probably have better things to do than try to drag an old man halfway across the world in order to deprive him of the rest of his days. Okay, if you want to go after somebody, I don't know, maybe go against Speaker of the House who endorsed them, or whoever that faux Ukrainian in the middle is, or that pleasantly plump bitch, Karina Gould right there, another member of the Liberal Party of Canada. The Speaker of the House has made it clear that he was responsible for inviting this individual to the House. The government played no role, but you were more than willing to take your photographs with old Hunka right there. Government played no role. It did not know. he would be there. Oh, really? The PM did not meet him. I am deeply troubled. This happened. I urge MPs to avoid politicizing this incident. Well, yeah, of course, because you're right there. Karina Gould doesn't want the MPs politicizing the Liberals' dishonorable guest because everyone knows that she's a Nazi sympathizer. Sure as fuck looks like that. But she is a Nazi simp because she supports the war in Ukraine and is the Azov battalion. Well, yeah, by extrapolation, okay, if you're going to go ahead and support the Ukrainian war effort, you're going to be supporting the Azov battalion. Oh no, it's just a fringe minority with unacceptable opinions. Funny. Again, throw all of their shit back in their face. And this bitch right here, okay, she deserves a special amount of ire because she was the one who was more than willing to take photographs. And also, there were other posts showing that Hunka was at least waiting for an audience for Trudeau, and maybe that'll end up being another update as well. It's like, funny, look at that. Trudeau and Zelensky did more than just simply clap for the man in the balcony. They did, a couple of photo ops. I would imagine that's likely to be the case in the forthcoming days. But as of right now, we got tons of fun speaking on this.
I would like to ask for unanimous consent to adopt the following motion. That notwithstanding any standing order, special order, or usual practice of the House, the recognition made by the Speaker of the House of an individual present in the galleries during the joint address to Parliament by His Excellency Volodymyr Zelensky be struck from the appendix of the House of Commons debates of Thursday, September 21st, 2023, and from any House multimedia recording. Thank you.
Yeah, you want to have, a digital book burning right there. You don't want to have your party to be embarrassed at all whatsoever. No. We just need that all stricken from the record. And if you could just go ahead and do that, because we don't want to be, accurately displayed as being Nazi sympathizers. No. Of course, we want to reserve that ad hominem attack for our opponents. So if you could just go ahead and do us that solid, that'd be fantastic. Okay, thanks.
Oh, yes, the Honor. I guess we...
It's funny that fucker right there, the Anthony Rota guy, he would have ended up submitting his resignation. After this, he's residing over this. Oh, very interesting. Yeah, can we just go ahead and get unanimous consent on all of this stuff so we just all don't look back? Can we just go ahead and move that along? No, of course not.
We have to go to the... we'll ask about unanimous consent, then go to it.
Or are they still wearing masks in Parliament?
Those opposed to the Honourable Ministers moving the motion will please say nay. We don't have unanimous.
No, I would say nay. Fuck you.
We have another order.
It goes without saying that those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. What happened on Friday was shameful and brought embarrassment to this chamber. It was an ugly reminder of what survivors of the Holocaust know too well.
Oh my God, there was more. God, I hate whenever they, you know what? Okay, not saying that wasn't bad or anything like that, but there is more to World War II. There are a few more complexities than just simply Holocaust. That's basically what history has been devolved into. Two fucking statements, okay? Slavery and the Holocaust. That's about it. That's all that history is devolved into. It just pisses me off. It's like, okay, cool. He fought against Russians. Okay, he fought against the Soviet menace back in the cut, and you want to just distill this down to, Jews most affected.
That we must never forget. Deleting the text of the Speaker's words from Hansard would have...
I'm going to have to interrupt. I see this... I'm afraid it's getting into debate more than anything else.
Well, it was a point of order that didn't end up getting accepted by everybody involved, so yes, it would end up moving to debate. That's kind of how that shit ends up going. So no. Even if it is officially stricken from the record, this whole internet thing, it doesn't forget. And the Liberal Party are Nazi sympathizers at the end of the day. So with all that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.